Hello everyone and welcome to Desire Gaming. In this video we are showcasing KO lineups and an overall guide on the map Pearl. I believe you can gain a lot from KO on Pearl, as both sites are quite open, which makes great use for KO's utility, and he can play close to the site since there's so many paths to choose from. Like all my videos, I have timestamped the lineups in the description, along with a link to our lineup spreadsheet for those that wish to skip ahead. And for those that don't want to skip ahead, I just want to say a big thank you to you, and the support on the channel has been great. We've recently hit 100 subscribers, which isn't exactly a big number for most people, but it means a lot to me. And yeah, anyway, let's get on to the video. So we'll start off with KO's 0 point, and we'll mostly cover defender's side. Okay, playing on A site, this is a knife to land towards mid doors / R and a bit of mid plaza. So simply stand right against this wall here and try to center yourself up with this arch here, just the hood. Doesn't have to be spot on, but then you want to look at this building and you should see, just by a gun I can zoom in with, you'll see this line here towards the corner, like the outline of the brick. Simply match up your HUD just at the top there like mine is. There should be an arrow on the screen to show a clear view. And the reason why this is so accurate is because this knife lands in a really sweet spot where the enemy team just can't really reach it. The only way they can destroy this knife is if they're playing close here. They've already pushed into art. Because of the way this statue is designed, quite difficult for them to reach. You can see from the map it covers doors, art, and a bit of mid. The timing of this, when it lands, normally the enemy team has pushed up through mid, and it just gives you that information to say that it's a mid push. Okay, the next lineup is from A site again. This time this is to identify if it's a full A push. You stand in this corner right here, and then you'll see the tip of this roof at the top, and then a little chimney next to it. So the rule I like to go off is just aim your crosshair above the roof, but keep it in line with the chimney, just around this area. Once you've jumped, you'll see a window. Once you see that window, just throw your knife. There you go. And where this lands, it's very hard for the enemy team to destroy. You can instantly throw it as the round starts, and if you look on the map, the range, it pulls anyone from back here. And yeah, you can just easily tell if it's an A site push. There's a clip on the screen of me doing it in game, and you can see I identify a full push on A. And it buys me time, buys my team time to rotate. Just be careful not to do this every single round, because it can get repetitive and the enemy team can destroy it from this angle. If they have a dedicated player to stand here, they can reach this knife. Just keep that in mind. So don't be throwing it every single round. Okay, now playing from B site, and this is to get a knife towards A main again. Simply come to this corner. This is great if you have less teammates on A and you want to help out just by throwing a knife. This can tell you if they're lurking towards A. So you simply stand in this corner, and I'm using the top of my HUD to match this up, but you should see like a line there. You want to line up where mine is now, my HUD, and then as soon as the round starts, throw your knife. This has some air time, so where this lands is quite close to A main. I don't know if you can see where it landed on the video. I might have to zoom in. But it lands behind this wall, which is not wall bangable, so the enemy team can't actually destroy this. And it pulls anything from A main. Gives you a clear indication if they're going A. Okay, now moving on to attacker side, 0 point lineups. So let's say you and your team want to make a push onto A. Let's stand against this pillar right here. It has to be in the center, this one. So try your best to be in the center. And then this corner of this building, there's 3 points in my head. There's this point, and this point. Now, you want to aim at the middle one where the bullet hole is. It's like the edge of the building, like the closest edge to you, if that makes sense. You want to line it up with your HUD just like mine is now. There's an arrow on the screen. I know this is very tedious, but the reason for this is where this knife lands is such a unique spot, and it's so difficult for the enemy team to destroy. As you can see, it lands on top of the lamp. Now, from any angle, the enemy team will often get blocked by this. The only time they can destroy it, if they're quick enough, is if they look directly up from here. You might have the odd chance where someone's on steps and they can kind of reach it, or maybe playing a link. But again, it's all down to how fast their reaction is, and by the time this lands, you've mostly covered A main, and yeah, you can then just execute that site push. Okay, now for a similar lineup on A site, this is not really that advanced, but stand in the same spot. This time it doesn't have to be perfect, so just place yourself against this pillow. You'll see these bricks above here, and this one particular brick is quite large with an outline around it. Just put your crosshair at the center of that. As soon as the round starts, throw your knife, and it's not this advanced, but it will pull anyone that pushes towards A main. From my experience, every time I've thrown that knife, it quickly identifies if there's a Phoenix or a Skye pushing up ready to flash my team, and then yeah, it kind of just makes them go into panic mode and run back, and hopefully you can swing out and get a pick. This is great for those aggressive players. Okay, moving towards a B push now. So let's say you want to make a play on B site. You want to get a knife to land here. This covers B site and B hall. Simply place yourself in the pinch of this wall, where I am right here. And then you'll see this rooftop here. It's this corner right here. You want to put your flash over that corner, like mine is, just around there. Doesn't have to be spot on. And this has some airtime, but as you and your team are pushing up towards B main, this lands in a perfect spot. It covers B halls, majority of B site, and it can be destroyed since it's on the edge, but the only people that can really react to it quick enough are people that play B tower. But you'll find when people play B tower, they never really play left side. They always play further back here just so they can show as less of their player model as possible. So it doesn't really make sense for them to peek out like this. Now here's a lineup to cover AR/A main. So this is great for them rounds where you want to play slow and push towards mid, but kind of lean towards A. So if you have someone lurking A and you want to make a push through here, at the start of the round, stand in this corner, and then you'll see this pattern around the edge of the map. Simply put your HUD where mine is. It's like in a diamond shape. As soon as the round starts, throw your knife, push up towards mid, and then where this knife lands, it covers both AR and a bit of A main. And this just gives you a clear indication if someone's hiding behind these boxes. You can then push through here, and then obviously you've just got this angle to worry about and anyone on site. Now, since we're talking about pushing through mid, a lot of the time I do see KOs just instantly throw the knife against this wall right here. And I guess it works. However, there's a lot of range of the knife wasted all around this area. To be honest, the enemy team just doesn't have enough time to run through this and get anywhere near here at the start of the round. There's normally a bit of a duel, as like these two are choke points. So what I would suggest doing instead of that is play mid top and push yourself against this wall. As soon as the round starts, you've got 1 or 2 seconds before they can actually physically get to this mid door. But peek out and you'll see like a little dark corner of this building. Just aim your crosshair just a bit above it. Throw the knife, and this lands way further back. It gives you the same result through mid doors and mid art, but you just get a better use of your knife. It covers more range, and it kind of pulls mid connect as well. This next lineup will cover B main. Now, from my experience in my games, I sometimes see Chambers, Jets, Reyners push up, Phoenixes. They push up B main as the round starts immediately, looking for that free kill, and then Jet can dash back, Reyner can dismiss, and they'll often play behind here, or the Chamber will simply play close here and hold you. A way around that with KO's 0 point is simply to stand in this pinch in the wall right here, and then aim your HUD where mine is. There's like corner on that chimney just around there. Throw your knife as the round starts, and then this knife lands in a very unique spot, which makes it very difficult to destroy unless they're behind this, but it also reaches this corner, so it just gives you that information if anyone's pushed close, but it also denies a Jet dash or a Reyner dismiss or even a Chamber ult if they're playing close. Now, this is the last lineup for 0 points that I have. So let's say you want to make a mid push to mid doors. This is an ideal knife to throw. This yellow door, place yourself in the center of it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then this statue here, put your ultimate in the circle. And I like to use this as a reference. You then need to look all the way up until your crosshair hits the barrier that goes across the map. As soon as the round starts, throw your knife, push through mid doors. By the time you've entered mid doors, this knife lands directly on this building, and it covers mid connect. Now the reason why you throw this is if you're pushing through mid with your team, this whole area is just full of choke points. You've got this angle, you've also got this corner that you need to clear as well. Now let's say you successfully push through mid doors and you decide you want to push towards B. You have to have a teammate hold flank because someone could come through mid connect. Now the benefit of that lineup I just showed you for the 0 point is it lands directly above this building at the same time you push through mid doors. So let's say you throw a flash through and you and your team push through. Now the enemy team will most likely hold mid doors from this angle. This is the common known angle. If they get flashed, they will stay in mid connect and hold this angle until they know you're pushing B, and then they'll try to flank you from behind. Now this knife reaches all of connect, which gives your team enough information to make a decision whether to push towards B site and not worry about a flank for a short period of time, or that mid connect is clear and you can push through it towards A or CT. I would also recommend, as the round starts, throwing a flash just against this wall here, as it pops directly above the door, allowing your team to simply push through and not worry about being flashed. This flash reaches both angles, this point and this point, and that being said, we'll move on to KO's flashes. Okay, this next flash will cover mid-top. This is designed for defending, and you have a teammate that's playing from AR and wants to swing out straight away and try to get a free pick on mid-top. You want to stand against this pillow here, just at the center of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then as the round's about to start, you'll see this shadow of this beam that goes down. So between this point and this point, just put your crosshair in the center of it. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure it's around the shadow area. And what this will do is it will bounce through the wall and pop above the entrance to AR, just around there. So just maybe do this in a custom with your teammate first, just so they understand where the flash is going to occur. And then this is deadly because the enemy team in mid-top just can't really avoid it. It happens so quick. I'll put a POV of what the enemy will see when you throw this flash. Now on the opposite side, if you're attacking and you want to make a push through AR, this is a great flash to use, mostly for yourself. If you can clear this and get to this corner, and you have an idea that someone's going to be here or just anywhere in AR. Now this orange light here, just put your crosshair in the center of it and throw your flash, and then as it's popping, run through to AR, and anyone that's holding AR from these angles will instantly get flashed, and it's just a free kill. Okay, now time for a flash to get your team onto A site. So let's say you've got control over A main. Simply stand against this corner here on the box, and then this brick here that stands out, simply put your molly grenade just to the left of it on the left side, and then you want to throw your flash as your team are ready to push site. And where this pops is so good for your teammates, in my opinion, all the common spots that people hold. Just keep in mind that it won't cover this hard right, so your team will have to check close. Now time for a second flash to get you onto A site. Stand in this corner this time, and then you'll see this pillar with the scaffolding around it. You want to look at this corner right here. And then as your team's ready to push, throw your flash and it pops just above your team. This is great for anyone that's directly holding the entrance to A. They'll instantly get flashed. But yeah, I recommend using them two flashes to get onto A site. Okay, now time for a flash that covers B ramp. This is great for defending. Simply place yourself in the corner here. You need to have a teammate for this one. Just get them to lurk on this corner, and then as the round starts, wait 1 or 2 seconds for the enemy team just to get control over B ramp. And then once you know they're fully pushing, this tower that I'm looking at here, if you look carefully, there's like a faint white line. Just put your crosshair just around the center of that. It doesn't have to be spot on. And then as the round starts, give it 1 or 2 seconds, throw your flash, and then this pops just on this tile here on the roof, covering most of B ramp. I throw some clips up on the screen of what the enemy team will see, and then as the enemy team is flashed, your teammate can simply push through and this flash will not touch them, and hopefully that will give them 1 or 2 free kills. Now time for a defender's flash on A main. If you have a teammate that aggressively pushes A main and just dies, why not help them out? Stand in this corner as the round's about to start and place your crosshair just where mine is, in the corner of this light pillow. As soon as the round starts, throw your flash, and where this pops is directly in front of the enemy's face as they're pushing through, and this just gives you that extra time frame for your teammates to push through, and the enemy team will be flashed. Okay, this next flash helps you retake an A site. So let's say the bomb is down on A and you're rotating and you want to do a retake. Stand on this box and you'll see this door above on the balcony, the big stone on top. Put your crosshair around that area and then throw your flash. Now, this bounces right above the balcony, allowing your teammate, if you've got one, to rotate through without being flashed. As you can see, the flash is open to a lot of angles. But what you can also do is, since there's a bit of time when it pops, is once you throw, you can then push through a secret, and the enemy team will mostly expect you to be coming through CT, through A flowers, since the flash just popped there. Just gives you that element of surprise a little bit if you're playing solo. Okay, now let's move on to KO's fragment abilities. Okay, let's do post plant situation on A site. You've got the spike down on this default spot right here, and you want to play A main because everyone plays A main. Place yourself in this corner right here, and then you want to match up your ultimate just where mine is on the screen. It doesn't have to be a particular spot, just anywhere around this area. And then as the round progresses and you hear them enter in sight, throw your grenade or molly, and then maybe follow up with a flash or two. And where this lands just reaches all areas. Now, it's important to note that the enemy team will often try to clear A main, or at least peek out whilst their other teammate tries to defuse the bomb. Just keep that in mind. If you want to play from a safer spot, you can come to this corner here, and then if you look at this scaffolding on this pillow, just put your HUD roughly at this, like I guess it's like a hitch, like a joint. It goes from thin to thick. Just put your UI roughly where mine is, around this area. And this is a jump throw. I know jump throws are not accurate. Regardless, this will always work since it bounces off this. If you was to throw it too high, it will always bounce off this. That's a much safer way to use your fragment, and then you can follow it up. Now, on the other hand, if you're defending on A site and the enemy team has pushed through onto site and you're backing off through A secret, simply come to this light right here, and then you'll see this balcony right above you. Just put your ultimate just in the center of it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but throw that. What this will do is prevent the spike from being placed, or will do a ton of damage to the enemy team. Okay, now moving on to B site, and we'll do post plant situations. The default spot for me personally is this corner right here. I do see a lot of players that like to plant the spike here. The only difference between that is it's more safer to plant there and easier, since this could be wall banged, and a lot of people often tend to just spray from CT and cover this. Sage wall won't really reach this. It often gets thrown down here. After you get the spike down, it's more beneficial because you can hold it further back from B main. Now let's just focus on this corner or here. It's very difficult for KO's fragment ability to reach this from above, just because of how big this building is and how close it is. If you have control over B link and mid doors and you have the spike down here, what you can do is play from up here. And I know this is quite far back. Now if you come to this door frame on the left side, you've got a keypad. Simply place yourself against this pole. And then if you look up, just put your crosshair in the corner of the building and then throw your fragment ability, and this lands directly onto the box. You can then follow this up from B link with some flashes. If you're playing on defender side and you're making a push through spawn, the enemy team have just entered B. Place yourself in the center of this poster, right in the center, and then above the right click of the mouse, the dot, just place it where mine is on the screen. There's an arrow. Throw your fragment, and this lands directly onto the box. And this either delays the bomb or the enemy takes a ton of damage. Now let's say your teammates get the spike down against this corner right here, and a lot of your teammates will play from B main. A lineup that you can do from B ramp is simply stand in this corner, and then if you look up, you'll see this building and you'll see the outline of the building. This corner here, it does have a line that goes across. Just place your crosshair in the center. There's a line on the screen. As the round goes on and you hear a tap or the team's fully took control over B, and now you're going to do a jump throw, and I know jump throws are not accurate, but this will bounce off the box and always land in the same spot. So if you jump and throw, you'll see an example here, and this is dead center, so if the teammates slightly plant to the right, it will always reach. Okay, and that is everything I have for KO currently on the map Pearl. If you gain any value from this video, please drop a like and consider subscribing for more. And if you've got any feedback, please drop a comment, let me know. Yeah, see you in the next one.